So we welcome forward our very first, a podium placing in the Mullingar qualifier sent them here to Dublin, and then it was top 5 on day 1 that nailed down their place here in the final. This one bred by the Belgian Warm Blood sire President, by Victor Hermans, and owned by Ennisnag stud Andrew Hughes and Westbury stud. This is Unicum H and Shane Dalton.
A super start for the first partnership, Shane Dalton, Unicum H, clear in 64.84. Well, we continue to the second duo, and riding this, well, there's a two-time World Equestrian Game participant, including also an Olympic athlete competing in London. She is a cross-discipline athlete, as also competes in eventing. She qualified in Barnadown, but placed 7th in the qualifier on Thursday, riding Don Juan Z, this stallion, by Dominator 2000 Z out of a Dame Alonza S by Cardento, bred by Nicky and Jean Dillon Jordans. Camilla Spears.
Well, we are guaranteed a jump-off finale then for our 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship, with a clear then for Camilla Spears and Don Juan. 63.18, so that's 68 seconds time allowed for our young horses, looking very achievable here in the initial round. Well, the second qualifier was split amongst the jump-off contenders, and one of those who stood in equal first position was our next partnership. The winners also at Mullingar. This is the Continental bred Otani Z by the clone of Otarango, also ridden by Christian Allman, the same as Dominator 2000, the previous sire. This is for Ireland Irish Team Gold and silver medalist at the juniors, Tabitha Kyle.
Clear on also for the third partnership, Tabitha Kyle, Otani Zed securing their spot in our jump-off. Well, next, a man that incurred 4 faults in the first round in Simmons scored in the second qualifier, but as he jumped late in the first round, when we announced he was still through to our qualifier, you could just see the joy on his face. Riding Gulross Camarado, a mare by Camarado VDL out of a dam Curratown Cruise by Cruising, bred by Dermot Murphy. Liam O'Meara.
Well, clears, they're all making it happen this morning. Liam O'Meara and Gulcross Coronado going clear, giving us 4 so far for the short course here in the 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship. Back to our qualifiers from Mullingar now, and we go to Hawkesbury Lad. This owned and bred by Gilbert Fletcher. Hawkesbury Lad double clear here in the main ring on day 1 in the 5-year-olds, and this one by the Dutch warm blood sire Lithium out of a touchdown mare. James Hogg, Hawkesbury Lad.
Just one knockdown this morning for James Hogg and Hawkesbury Lad. We go now to a very impressive young rider. He was a previous ODS bursary recipient in 2022. He was also part of the prestigious European Young Riders Academy last year. But he was a big winner in Mill Street. He was the winner of the 6- and 7-year-old Boomerang final. He also placed 4th in the Mill Street Grand Prix. Riding Grand Amour KPCM, this mare by Grand Dorado TN, the dam Elime LVS by Emerald van Ruiterstoff, is County Clare's Rhys Williams.
Clear over the last as well. Grand Amour, KPCM and Rhys Williams join the ranks of those qualified for our jump off here in the 5-year-old Flexible National Championship, which is not a bad way to start your 21st birthday. Happy birthday, Rhys Williams, with us here at Dublin. Going on to qualifiers then from Barnadown. Bowley-born Aiden is going to be our next to go. This one by Dignified Van Zorgvliet out of a Dutch warm blood mare by Crown Z. Bred by Bowley-born horses, of course, and owned by Causeway Gold Adventures. Bowley-born Aiden is going to be our next to go with Have a Dragset.
Well, 8 falls for the Norwegian rider now based here in Ireland, 63.92. Well, we go now to the reigning national champion. He won the competition here last year on the Sunday morning of the final day of the Dublin Horse Show. Yellow Rock Cornet's Lady is what he joins us back here again with this time. It's a mare by Kornoblinski. The dam is Deer Park Kosher by Contador, owned and bred by Fintan Lawler. Shane Goggins.
Two down, 8 falls, unfortunately, there for Shane, and Yellow Rock Cornet's Lady, a combination with double clear here in the opening leg. Earlier in the week, the first leg of the 5-year-olds coming here into the main arena, so they've already had 1 foot on the grass here, the famous grass, in our 150th year. Qualifier now from the Meadows earlier on this season, and one of those who split the second leg over in Simmons Court. It's a Sligo Candy Boy horse here, out of a mare by Warrenstown U2, owned by Catherine Lynch, bred by James Berg, and it's CCL Candy Baloo, Kate Lynch.
Well, just one knockdown, so 4 faults for the young lady from County Cork, Kate Lynch, CCL, Canty Ballou. To County Waterford's Gemma Phelan next. She rides Money Broom early morn at gelding by Plantargo TN out of a dam Tullybirds Irish Mesh and by Eckstein. Bred by Dermot Mackey, Gemma placed 8th in the 6-year-olds competition this week, and she goes next.
Gemma Phelan and Money Broom early morn go into the jump off now as well as our latest clear round, 62.75 on the clock. So they're all getting around here in quite a pacey fashion this morning on these young horses. They were a combination who had good form here in the main ring on day one. They were top 5. And we go now to a partnership who were splitting the win in Simmons Court in the second leg. This is going to be Kinmar Flash, a Kinmar hero bred horse. This is out of Kinmar Lady, an Opiloth horse. The dam sub. Katie Louise McEntee, Jared Marin, the breeder, and John McEntee in the irons. John McEntee, Kinmar Flash. Well, just the 4 faults for John McEntee riding Kinmar Flash. Well, the award of the Jack Bamber Perpetual Cup as we await the next partnership to join us here in the main arena with €15,000 of a prize fund. A special breeder's prize of €1,500 will also be presented to the breeder of our winner here this morning. Our thanks to Horseboard Ireland and the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine as they continue to support our young horse classes here at the 150th Dublin Horse Show. Well, next, a rider that is certainly no stranger to jumping young horses, including at the World Breeding Jumping Championships in Lanarken. Well, she placed 6th in Simmons Court on Friday, and she rides DCS Ballypatrick, a gelding by Plumtago, and the Dam CSF Lulu by Louis Dam. Bred by Claire Stevenson. Leah Stack. DCS Ballypatrick Elias Stack, unfortunately, it is going to be 2 down, 8 faults here today for the one owned by Ali Nilfarushan of Nilfarushan Equestrian Sports out in California. So staying with Team Ballypatrick, though, as we go on to our next, it is Ballypatrick owned and bred BP Wishes. BP Wishes is by the sire Agonix de Seigneur and of a cruising mare, BP Masterpiece. They qualified at the Meadows, and BP Wishes is in the hands here of one of our 5-star winners this week, youth medalist, including this summer for Ireland. It is Niamh McAvoy.
Well, these are young horses, and some of them are getting a little bit tired, as it has been a really busy week of jumping. Not to be for a very impressive rider. 12 faults, BP Wishes for Niamh, that was the winner of the 4-year-old yesterday evening. Well, we continue with Team Ballypatrick, and next is a British rider, now very much based here in Ireland. He rides Bullyborn Alexa, a mare that's by Grandorado TN. The dam is Arena, and that's by Crown's Edge, bred by Ronan Rothwell. And he's also no stranger to competing in Lanarken also. Riding Bullyborn Alexa, Harry Wood.
Nice clear round there for Harry and Bullyborn Alexa. Nice for the Bullyborn operation to have 2 in this final as well, alongside Bullyborn Aiden that we saw earlier on with Havad Dragset. So 2 more to go in the initial round. We have 7 qualified for the jump-off so far of our 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship. Our thanks so much to the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine and Horse Sport Ireland for their support of the Young Rider Programme, the Young Horse Programme here at Dublin. Winner here in the main ring on day 1 now is our next combination. A qualifier from Mullingar. Sean Stafford, the breeder here of this one, by the Dutch warm blood sire Tyson out of a Lupicore mare. It's Castlefield Tycoon, Jack Kent.
A wonderful round for the young man that recently was part of that gold-winning junior team in Germany, Jack Kent, producing a clear and clear round number 8 as we enter into the final stages. In fact, the final partnership steps forward. Good odds for this man, the only one with 2 horses in this first round. We're in this final of our 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship. We go to ESI Lincoln, this gelding by Callahan, and the dam is ESI Sophia by Simba, bred by the Innisfree stud. Right in this, County Cork's Shane Dalton.
Shane Dalton and ESI Lincoln there. It is going to be 2 down quite early on the course, both of those for Shane and Lincoln, so 8 faults. But we will, of course, see Shane back for the jump-off. The first of what will be 8 qualified for that jump-off: Shane Dalton, Unicum, Camilla Spears, Don Juan, Tabitha Kyle, Otani, Liam O'Mara, Gold Ross, Coronado, Reese Williams, Grand Amour, KPCM, Gemma Phelan, Money Broom, Early Morn, Harry Wood, Bowleyborn and Alexa, and Jack Kent, Castlefield Tycoon. 8 coming back for the 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship here at the Dublin Horse Show, the first of our 2 prestigious national young horse titles to be decided here this morning. Our prize funded by the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine and delivered by Horse Sport Ireland. And of course, one of those names echoing down through the years alongside Fliexible on the horse side is Jack Bamber. It's the Jack Bamber Perpetual Trophy that is presented here. Jack Bamber, a producer of horses over many years, synonymous with the early years of history of the Dublin Horse Show and serving for a period also as the Irish show jumping chef de qui. for our jump off to come. The day ahead here goes on to the Cruising National Championship. Our 6-year-old young horses, those 16 finalists coming forward just before 9 a.m. this morning. Then on to another young horse class, but it's in the international divisions where we've already seen a win for Niamh McAvoy. It's the International 7s and 8s, sponsored by Elliott Group. Our first 5-star class of the day is the Nortev Speed Championship. Of course, that as a championship, they've qualified throughout the speed legs this week to make their way through into that final competition on the Speed Tour. Then it is the prelude to the Rolex Grand Prix of Ireland, a Rolex Series event. 500,000 euros in the prize fund this year for the Rolex Grand Prix. And we will be starting jumping at 3 p.m. with 40 who've proven themselves to be the best across the 5-star tour here at Dublin this week. Before that, we have Santi Serra, our horse-drawn vehicle parade, and the Alia Show Awards, the Parade of Champions, and the Parade of the Kilkenny Hunt.
Well, in just a few moments' time, as John says, we will start the 5-year-old jump off. 15,000 euro of a prize fund, 1,500 euro will be presented to the breeder of the winner also. The Jack Bamber Perpetual Cup will be awarded, but the jump off course is 14, 8C, 9, 10, 11AB, 1 and 2. The first fence is our new additional fence. It's our post stamp fence. And heading towards the sheltered grandstand, the final fence on course is fence number 2, over by the big screens, where some of the course design team have gathered. Well, always a special competition, and great to have some of the young horses jumping here in the main arena on the final day of the 150th Dublin Horse Show.
Well, thanks so much to our supporters of the Young Horse National Championships. These classes funded by the Breeding Grant Initiative, delivered by Horse Sport Ireland, funded under the National Breeding Services, with thanks to the Department of Agriculture, Food and Marine. Well, as you can appreciate here, Shane Dalton, who was last to go in the initial round, has to then turn around and warm up his first for the jump off Unicum. And, of course, get into the mindset of that shortened course. Remember, it's going to start out over a new fence. It is the postage stamp and Post and Telegraph letterbox coming towards the President's box. They'll wend their way around the arena. Some tight turns, but of course beautifully designed, especially for young horses, to be not only competitive but also to be educative for those horses going forward. Finishing over on in front of the new campus development, the Anglesey stand redevelopment, just by the big screens. It's the rustic fence, the Hurl and Schlitter, and that will decide who takes our Fliexible National Championship, sponsored, as we said, by the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine, supported by Horse Sport Ireland. So here we are, our first to go for our jump off, the 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship. Time allowed, officially 47 seconds, and Shane Dalton is our first to go, Shane and Unicum. So first in the first round, delivering that first clear, the President, the Belgian warm blood side, Unicum, and Shane Dalton will set our standard.
Pushes through the final line, 31.88 for the Pathfinder, Shane Dalton, Unicum H. No easy task as going first in any jump off. He landed at 21 seconds coming out of our double. That will be our marker as we proceed in our jump off. 7 left to go. Will that be good enough to get the national title for the man from County Cork, Shane Dalton? Well, that will certainly be difficult to follow as the next one is a stallion by Dominator 2000. We're rejoined by Don Juan and the lady that placed 7th in the qualifier on Thursday. From County Kildare, Camilla Spears.
4 vaults in the jump-off for Camilla, but remember, of course, will rank in front of all those who didn't make it into the jump-off in the final. 16 coming forward to the final. It is 36 that make it to Dublin, and over 100 contesting most of the qualifiers. So Camilla there with 4 faults, our first 4 in the jump-off, 35-23. Our third qualifier, the winner in Mullingar, and splitting the win in Simmons Court on day 2 of the tour here. It is junior team gold medalist Tabitha Kyle now, and Otani by the clone of Otarango Alpha Z.
Well, 32.09 for the young lady from County Tipperary, Tabitha Kyle, Otani Z, ranking into provisional second at this stage, and also landing after that double at 21 seconds. A good round for Tabitha.
Based in Tipperary, Killian, based in Tipperary. She's Leinster.
Well, a very proud uncle joining me in the commentary box, of course. Well done to Tabitha. We continue to Liam O'Mara, also based in County Tip, and he rides Golden Moss Camerado. Our time to beat, set by Shane Dalton, 31.88.
It's double clear in the 5-year-old final then for Liam and Golros Coronado, and 37.41 on the clock. So going into third place, 3 double clears leading the way. Shane Dalton and Unicum, the one to beat at the moment with 31.88. So Rhys Williams, Rhys, who is also part of that split of the 5-year-old second leg over in Simmons Court with the Grandorado bred, of course. Grandorado jumping on the Aga Khan here this week for a double clear. This is Grand Amour KPCM. In the irons, taking on 31.88, Rhys Williams.
Well, just the 4 for Rhys Williams, Grand Amour KPCM in the time of 42.53. That's into 5th ranking at this stage. Just the 3 left to go. In the lead, Shane Dalton, 31.88. Second is Tabitha Kyle, 32.09. And then the third, and only of the 3 clears, Liam O'Mara, and 37.41. That's the top 3 at this stage, with just the 3 left to go. Well, rejoin us now with this gelding by Plantago TN. Money Boom, Early Born, County Waterford's Gemma Phelan.
So the rail down in the jump off for Gemma in a time of 36.11 is going to be worth 5th place at the moment, 5th of the 6 we've seen so far. 8 in all coming back for our jump off. So just waiting for our penultimate combination to actually join us here in the ring.
Well, €15,000 is our prize fund tier, and our thanks once again to the Department of Agriculture, Foods and the Marine, part of the National Breeding Services delivered through Horse Sport Ireland. Long-time supporters here of our young horse classes, part of the Royal Dublin Society's Dublin Horse Show. Not forgetting a special breeder's prize of €1,500 will be presented to our breeder here this morning. Always a special competition to start here on the Rolex Grand Prix day of the final day of the Dublin Horse Show.
And here is that penultimate competitor, another from the Ballypatrick operation, having an incredible horse show. Ballypatrick, 24 horses with them across all of their riders. This man who rides internationally in the colours of Great Britain was a qualifier in Mullingar with Bowleyborn Alexa, another in the jump-off by Grandorado. It is Harry Wood.
Four for jumping and 2 for time there, Harry Wood and Bowleyborn Alexa in our national jumping. 1 time penalty for every 4 seconds exceeding the time allowed. Well, how unfortunate was that? It was a fantastic... correction, 1 for 1 in our jump off. It is a total of 10 here for Harry Wood and Bowleyborn Alexa in our jump off. Of course, 1 second for every 1 time penalty. Well, how unfortunate he was up on the time. A tight turn there, but unfortunately not to be for Harry Wood, a really impressive rider with so much experience as we go into the final partnership here this morning in our 5-year-old Fliexible National Championship. He has plenty of experience this summer, including picking up that FEI gold winning part of the junior winning team at the European Championships. The time to beat is 31.88. Riding Castlefield Tycoon, County Waterford's Jack Kent.
Jack Andy looked good, 32.55, goes onto the podium there with Castlefield Tycoon. It is going to be a third place finish. So our congratulations then, as we have a newly crowned national champion here at our 150th Dublin Horse Show. Out of our jump off then, it is going to have been Harry Wood and 8th, Polyborn Alexa. Grandamore, KPCM, Rhys Williams 7th. Gemma Phelan, Money Broom, Early Morn 6th. Camilla Spears, Don Juan 5th. Double clear and 4th for Lima Mara, Golros Coronado. Jack Kent takes 3rd with Castlefield Tycoon. 2nd then Tabitha Kyle and Otani Z. And Shane Dalton and Unicum take the title here. 1st in the ring and taking it 1st in the jump off as well. Unicum by the Belgian Warm Blood Sire President out of a Zangerside mare by Cicero van Pemel. So congratulations to them. Of course, that bonus for the breeder as well coming through these Horsesport Ireland, Department of the Agriculture, Food and the Marine supported classes. So stay with us, the awards coming up, and of course getting set for the second of our pair of National Young Horse Championships and finals this morning.